A girl pushes her companion off a bridge. A passerby happens to witness the entire scene, and the girl immediately flees. Panicking, she runs into the forest and quickly grabs broken fragments off the ground to use as makeshift weapons. But as she nears a tree's roots, they suddenly transform into a massive python. The next instant, the light around her starts fading, and when she finally looks down, the ground beneath her feet is crawling with hundreds of venomous snakes. Terrified, she stares into the darkness ahead as a creature with a broken leg emerges, limping toward her at an impossible speed. She keeps retreating in fear, never realizing she's already trapped inside an illusion, one conjured by the boy who, it turns out, survived the fall. The girl had been cruel from a young age. While riding in the car, she'd often pinch her sister's thigh just to satisfy some twisted urge inside her, and each time, her sister, who had an intellectual disability, was unable to even cry out in protest. But the blame for Anna's behavior wasn't entirely her own. Her mother bore some responsibility too. Despite Anna being significantly younger than her sister, their mother always brushed her off at night, abandoning her to go tend to the older sister instead. Over time, this left Anna increasingly withdrawn and isolated. Then one day, at the park, she meets a boy. He's hanging quietly off to the side, waiting for a group of boys to finish their soccer game. Once it ends, Anna finally works up the courage to approach him. Touched by a girl his own age reaching out, Jack warmly invites her into the woods to play, and even lets her in on a secret. He has Anna find a bottle cap and throw it. And impossibly, the cap teleports through space. Anna is utterly stunned. She never imagined Jack might have actual superpowers. To prove it wasn't a fluke, he throws another cap, and sure enough, it teleports again. Rushing home, Anna eagerly tries to tell her parents, but they're both preoccupied with caring for her sister and barely register what she's saying, even forbidding her from playing with Jack anymore. This pushes Anna over the edge. The next day, returning home, she finds broken glass on the floor that her sister had shattered earlier. She gathers up the shards and secretly slips them into her sister's shoes. Half an hour later, when their mother helps put the shoes on her sister, she fails to notice the glass, and the family heads out for the day regardless. Unable to speak, the sister can only stomp her foot to signal the pain. By the time anyone realizes what's happened, the glass has already cut her foot badly, leaving it covered in blood. Though Anna feels a flicker of guilt, she reasons that her sister is the one who stole their parents' love in the first place. Not long after, when her sister needs rehabilitation exercises, Anna is tasked with taking her to the park, where they unexpectedly run into Jack. He's instantly curious about the older sister. Eager to impress her cautious new friend, Anna pinches her sister's arm right in front of him to get a reaction. Jack finds it hilarious, telling Anna it's great fun and even joining in to try it himself. After tormenting the sister for a while, the two head over to the soccer field nearby. They're having a great time together, until an older, bigger boy comes over and snatches the ball right out of Jack's hands. Intimidated by the boy's presence, Jack, simmering with resentment, turns his attention toward a nearby cat instead. Desperate for some outlet to release his anger, the two climb all the way up to the 18th floor, and despite the terrifying height, Jack grabs the cat and throws it off without hesitation. Even Anna feels a chill run down her spine watching this, but Jack isn't finished. He races downstairs and finds the cat, now barely clinging to life, and in a final act to vent his fury over the stolen ball, does something utterly inhuman to it. Though Anna turns away and refuses to watch, she's deeply shaken by what Jack is capable of, never imagining there could be someone even more ruthless than herself. Carefully slipping away, she heads back to the park to find her sister and bring her home, only to find no trace of her anywhere. After searching almost the entire neighborhood, Anna finally spots her sister tucked away in a corner. To her astonishment, her sister has made a friend of her own. And even more unbelievably, this girl has a superpower of her own, extraordinary hearing that can pick up sounds from impossible distances. The three of them decide to test it out together. Anna and her sister climb up a nearby hillside, where Anna quietly whispers something under her breath, waiting to see if the girl with super hearing can catch it from afar. Sure enough, she hears every word, and Anna is awestruck by the power on display. But moments later, the girl is suddenly knocked flat by an unseen force. It's Jack, using his own ability, resentful that this new girl has taken Anna's attention away from him, determined to put her in her place. But the older sister steps in front of her, blocking him. Unable to physically overpower them, Jack channels his power right where he stands, intent on teaching the whole group a lesson. The ground beneath his feet begins to tremble, but to everyone's shock, the older sister turns out to have hidden powers of her own. Suddenly the surrounding trees start shaking violently. Stunned and unwilling to challenge someone clearly more powerful than him, Jack has no choice but to retreat. The three of them are finally able to enjoy a peaceful walk together. But back home, Jack's rage continues to build, desperate for release. Staring fixedly ahead, he causes the cold water sitting in an iron pot to suddenly boil over. His mother, startled and assuming she's hallucinating, rushes to remove the pot, only to scald her hand badly on the searing heat. It's only when she notices Jack smirking that she realizes what's really happening and moves to stop him. But Jack's cruelty knows no limits. Even as his mother collapses to the floor in pain, his anger refuses to subside, fueled by memories of the beatings and scoldings she's given him over the years. He unleashes his power on her again. Watching her suffer brings him nothing but a twisted sense of satisfaction. Once it's done, he calmly calmly walks back outside as if nothing happened. Outside, he happens to run into the boy who'd stolen his soccer ball earlier. That night, Jack sets his sights on a man living in the building across the street, using his power to control him directly, manipulating the man into walking outside and across the bridge where the soccer boy often hangs out. After dealing with him, Jack still isn't satisfied. He turns his attention to the girl with super hearing next, focusing on a stone nearby to instantly knock her down. Then, staring straight ahead with cold intensity, he causes her to suddenly choke, and within seconds she collapses to the ground. Anna watches in horror, completely stunned. Unable to contain her fury any longer, she charges at Jack and shoves him to the ground. Just as he's about to get up and retaliate against her, the older sister finally arrives from a distance. Realizing he's outmatched, Jack reluctantly backs off, but he has no intention of letting it go. That night, consumed by lingering rage, he closes his eyes and channels his power once more, this time targeting the super hearing girl's mother from a distance. His gaze grows distant and unfocused, and back at her house, the curtains suddenly billow as though caught in a gust of wind. The mother, seemingly losing all sense of reason, picks up a knife, convinced some kind of monster must have gotten into the house. But when she pulls back the curtain to check, there's nothing there at all. Behind her, she hears breathing. Her daughter, having heard the commotion from her room, has come out to check on her. But in the mother's clouded mind, manipulated entirely by Jack, her own daughter now appears as the monster. Step by step, still under his control, she advances on her child, and in the end, kills her with her own hands. The moment her daughter falls, the mother snaps out of the trance, horrified by what she's done, while Jack, far away, finally feels satisfied. A few days later, news of the girl's death spreads through the neighborhood, but something still doesn't sit right with Anna. She has a sinking feeling that she might be next on Jack's list. Trying to smooth things over, she buys an attractive toy airplane and brings it to Jack's house as a peace offering. As expected, he accepts her apology. She then suggests they fly the plane together, but it doesn't catch enough wind from where they're standing, so she leads him up onto the bridge, claiming the plane will fly much farther from up there, and hands him the model. Just as Jack stands up to throw it, the opening scene unfolds. Miraculously, he lands safely on the grass below, completely unharmed. Meanwhile, Anna hides in the forest, certain Jack will come looking for her. She reaches for a stick on the ground to defend herself, and in an instant, the world around her shifts into night, the ground littered with countless disorienting branches. She's already been trapped inside one of Jack's illusions. A dark figure approaches from the distance. Though she knows, on some level, that none of this is real, she instinctively backs away, and seems to step clean out of the illusion. In reality, though, she's still very much trapped within it, unknowingly backing straight into the path of an oncoming road. Days later, Anna wakes up in the hospital. Thankfully, her injuries are minor, and after a short recovery, she's discharged and brought home. But the moment she looks out the window, she spots Jack staring fixedly at their house. A chill running down her spine at the realization that he might already be using his power on them. Turning back inside, she finds her mother standing there with a kitchen knife, her eyes unnervingly distant. A clear sign she's already under Jack's control. Anna rushes into the bathroom and locks the door behind her. After hiding for nearly half an hour, she finally emerges, only to find the house completely empty. Her sister, who'd been sitting on the floor moments earlier, is gone too. It turns out the older sister had been looking out for Anna all along. Despite her intellectual disability, she's resolved to confront Jack herself, finding him at the park. The two face off across a small lake, channeling their powers against each other, sending ripples surging across the water's surface. At first, the sister is knocked down hard by Jack's power, but just as she struggles back to her feet to continue, Anna arrives to stand beside her. Together at last, the sisters unleash an attack unlike anything Jack has faced before, forcing him to grip a nearby railing just to stay standing. As the two girls clasp hands tightly, a surge of overwhelming power builds between them, and Jack finally loses his grip on the railing entirely, collapsing limply onto a nearby swing. With that, the sisters have finally defeated him. The film ends here.